Welcome back to exercise 2 of our Bootstrap course. It's Unitex Solutions again. Quickly, I have downloaded all my files with you in exercise 1, the ones that would keep my web page going to be set for Bootstrap to take over. Now, I'm just going to include all of them. We have, when we open the fonts, awesome folder we have in the CSS, we have the font awesome.main.css over here. I will include it. And I'm going to include my CSS from Bootstrap. We have the bootstrap.main.css. I would include that one too. That is a minified file. And my JS folder too, which is bootstrap.main.js. I would include that one too. So quickly, let's get our work done. First of all, I'm going to include my bootstrap.main.css, okay, which is over here. I'm going to save my work and I'll live preview the work for you to see in the browser. Okay, whilst we are waiting, okay, quickly it has loaded. You'll see no difference at all as of now. So I'll make this one available for you. But if you don't have this file, don't worry. All you need to do is what? To get your hands on it. That's all. You can pause the video and then quickly type what I'm doing. And the next thing I'll do is that I'm going to include my nest. Okay, I've included my CSS files that I told you I'll be including bootstrap.main.css and bootstrap.main.css bootstrap theme. Okay, so when we open the bootstrap folder, we have the bootstrap theme here and we have the bootstrap.main.css, which I have included. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to include my font awesome code, which is here. So I have my font awesome being linked up from here, which is 4.7.0 being linked up .main.css, which is here. Okay, now quickly I'm going to paste in last thing, which is my JS component, which is when I open here I have bootstrap.main.js. I'm going to include it in my web page. So I have my script being included at the down part because I want my web page to load and then the CSS will take over. So now I can save my work and let's get back and check what is happening with our home page. Okay, you might not recognize any difference as at now, but indeed there has been different. If you check from the starting to here, you'll see that there has been a bit different in our web page as of now. Okay, so quickly let's apply our grid system to it. And okay, now we have here our header section being displayed. So I'm going to include a class called Jumbotron. So a class, and I'm going to call the class Jumbotron. Okay, and I'm going to save my work after including the class to wrap up here. If you've watched the tutorial and the Jumbotron aspect, I told you that it contains a key component of the web page. So I have the name of the web page being displayed here, the title of this website, Interweb World Workshop, and I have it being described a bit over here. Okay, so I'm just going to save my work, go back to my web page and see what happens. Okay, so the Jumbotron and my bracket editor has highlighted this. Don't worry, it's just the editor and its function. So it has highlighted here, showing you that this is where I've placed my current cursor. So this is the Jumbotron aspect. So let's go back. Let me put it on the Jumbotron. Okay, now let's come back and you can see that it has been highlighted. So when you apply the Jumbotron classes, this is what comes. Now in the presentation, I told you that Bootstrap has predefined classes, and this is one of the classes which I have included for you. Okay, now every row should be included in what? In a container. So I'm just going to call my class container and I'll save my work. Let's get back to it. Okay, so you can see my content has been placed in a container. So this is the container and this is the Jumbotron. Good. So the jumbotron is here. All this is the jumbotron, but I've defined a container which is here. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to define my row, as I told you that rows are supposed to be placed in what? Container. So my row would be called here. Okay. Good. And I'll save my work. Let's get to our web page. And you can see still it has been included very well. Now the next thing I'll be doing is that I'm going to put this row into either 12 columns or whatever I like. I can put it. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to call another class called, okay, all right, so I'm going to call a class called column sm12. So I mean that it should start targeting from the smaller device, which is sm. So if I say lg will become large, and in that order, if I say md, that is a medium devices. So I'm going to save this work, and you will see my work being displayed still the same thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going back to here to my code, and I'm going to put only this. I'm going to put this in, let's say how many rows? In about 6. Okay, and I'll save my work, and I'll put this one. So I'll close the row on here. Okay, good. Now I would include another div from here. So the next div I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy this, or let me just type a div. So div, and I'm going to include a class occupying the rest of the columns. I told you that every row has 12 columns. You can, divide them however you want to suit your needs. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to call my column sm and 6, so that it will occupy the rest of the columns remaining. So I'm going to save my work and get back to my web page, and you can see that this has been placed in 6, and this one has also been placed in what? Another 6. So that is what you can observe. Of course, I don't want it to look this way, so I'm just going to place all of this in 9. Okay, and I'll delete this, and I'll take this one to off to get my set. We'll use the rest of the 3 for another thing, so I can even include it as a now over here. Okay, and I'm going to type my class, and yep, and I would now include the rest of the column, which is column sm-3, okay, to occupy all the 12. So you can see my work being displayed here. I have a typing error, and where is it? Where exactly do I have the typing error? Okay, I just have to figure it out. This is what happens when you type too much. You begin to go back to, okay, so what I'm just going to do is that I'm going to leave it at the 12 that it was. Okay, and I'll save my work. So later on, I would now divide it and get 3 elsewhere, so that my logo could be put or something else could be put. So I don't want us to take time on this exercise 2. Quickly, we'll meet in exercise 3, and we will talk more about the grid system.